Thank you guys for submitting your questions, whether it be my YouTube inbox or the comment section on my Q&A intro video. I have some to get to, so let's get right into it and not waste any time. Bad Influence for Life wants to know, how do you go about writing a song? Well, it all depends on if I'm doing a vocal song or an instrumental song. If it's a vocal song, I like to do the lyrics first, write down the lyrics, come up with the rhymes and all that good stuff, and figure out the content of what I'm singing about. Because that's always the harder part for me, because I don't want the lyrics to sound cheesy or sound stupid. I want them to have a good flow, and I just come up with the chords and the melody and the accompaniment later, because that's actually the easier part for me. I can come up with chords and stuff just like that, and the melody, no problem. But the lyrics are usually the harder ones for me. Whether it be if it's an instrumental, if I want to write a song for band, which I have written one or two before, I have to figure out a bass section, I figure out a main melody, and then just add the chords as I go. I want to have moving parts and make sure that everything flows well. So, I mean, it all varies of what I'm doing, so that's how that's done. A Cabiac wants to know, what's your profession and how much do you make? Well, my main profession, what I went to college for, was music education, and I taught vocal music for 2 years in 2 different schools. And I also coached football in one school, and I coached varsity football and middle school wrestling and middle school track in another. And if you combine the you kind of get an average of what I make out of the 2 schools. I mean, it all depends on where you teach at and how long you've taught there, and the longer you teach there, the salary goes up every year. But I made on average in between $1,800 $2,200 a month, so just kind of add that up, I guess. And then you add the coaching into it, which isn't really very much, but it's pretty much the same thing. And I also, right now, I'm taking a piano tuning course, and by the end of the summer, I'll be a piano tuner, and that's going to make me quite a bit of money on the weekends. And because I know that a guy that I'm working with right now is a veteran piano tuner and makes about 85 to maybe a little over $100 a piano, whether it be tuning or repair. So I'm learning that right now. I just started the course this week, and I'm getting a piano that I bought from one of my friends at work that doesn't want anymore, and I'm going to work on that, and then hopefully by the end of the summer I'll be an official piano tuner, and I can make some money off of that. I also DJ on the side. Traveling Tunes is my business name, so I also DJ on the side. I'm constantly getting songs and updating them, and so I have a few gigs for next fall already. I did DJ a dance marathon back last August. I DJ'd one prom this year, and getting my name out there. I'm pretty cheap, but people do enjoy my DJing. I wouldn't say skills, but that's what I'm doing on the side. And I'm also going for my master's in music right now. I took one class this fall online at Berklee College. That's where I take my classes. It's out of Boston, one of the top music schools in the nation. I took desktop for music production for PC, and I ended up passing flying colors with an A. So just taking one class at a time, because classes are expensive right now, and I'm a part-time student, so I can take classes whenever I want and just enroll whatever term. So I'm trying to get that done so I can get my master's in that. And I'm also looking for teaching jobs now, going back into teaching, but right now I work at a packaging factory. It's very simple work. I mean, I work from 6 to 4 Monday through Fridays. It's simple work. It's not hard work. It's not the ideal job, but hey, I get paid every week. It pays well for what it is, and it's getting me by right now. So that's that. What are my hobbies? Would be not wrestling. Well, I do love to work out. I run a lot. I do a lot of cardio. Me and my buddy actually go for runs. We run a couple 5Ks a week. We're actually training for some 5Ks and a 10K in August. We're just trying to get ourselves in shape. He wants me to get him in cardio shape, and we did lift for a while so he can get me in lifting shape. But we really want to focus on cardio and endurance, so I'm kind of helping him with that. And we have Nike Plus on our phones, so we run with them, keep track of our miles, and how fast we go. I mean, we just ran 4 miles yesterday, and I beat my record. I ran 4 miles in like 25:52. I mean, for a typical, a typical runner, I mean, that does nothing but running. I mean, that's kind of nothing, but for me, it's a big deal. So anyways, I do that. I play video games. I'm a retro gamer. I don't play a lot of the new stuff. I like NES, Super NES, N64, Sega Genesis, all those games. I love the old stuff. I can never get over it. I have an emulator on my computer for all the old systems, and I have my own controllers that I play with, so I do that. And, of course, I love to sing and play piano, play guitar, compose, and all that stuff. And I just, I like being outside. I like being active. So just have some hobbies like for that. And of course I was in sports when I was in high school, so I like to play sports. I was in football, wrestling, track, and baseball for a couple years in high school. And I played first base, but I gave that up because I wanted to make money and lift more for football. Football was my favorite sport growing up, and wrestling is a close second. And most people wouldn't think this, but being a musician, most people think that, musicians aren't that great at sports or vice versa, but that's actually not true, because I was actually a 2-time All-State defensive lineman for my football team in high school, my junior and senior year, and I made it to districts, which is basically the second round of playoffs in Iowa wrestling. So, it was close. My senior year, I was that close to making a state. I was basically one win away, but I didn't make it. So, but anyways, those are some hobbies that I have there. Are you married and or have kids? Nope, I'm single, living the bachelor life, and I'm enjoying it for the most part. But eventually, I do want to settle down and find somebody, and find a girlfriend, get married, have kids eventually. But that won't be not for a while yet. So that's that. Over the Heat /TM star CKH wants to know, who's your favorite WWE wrestler and TNA wrestler? Shawn Michaels is my favorite WWE one, and Chris Jericho's a close second because he's a music guy and an athlete, which is what I am. So that's a perfect example. I relate to him a lot. And TNA wrestler, I don't really watch TNA very much, but AJ Styles probably, if I go off the top of my head. It's not that I hate TNA, but it's just he's the one that I recognize the most that I've actually seen. He was the original TNA wrestler. Let's see, KCA4 wants to know, what's your least favorite WWE theme? I don't really have one off the top of my head, but one that got annoying real quick was Burn It to the Ground by Nickelback. The Raw theme, that was the one that we had before this one, that we have, like Tonight is the Night. It sounded cool at first, but it just got annoying real quick, and I just didn't like it. I'd rather go back to the All Together theme from Raw back in the Attitude Era. That's just my opinion, but whatever. But yeah, that's just the one that kind of sticks out to me. Shadow Souls wants to know, do you play GTA 5? Like I said before, I don't play any of the new games, really. I don't have any new systems. Like, the newest system I have is a Wii, and that's it. But when I was younger, I did play the old GTA games a little bit from time to time. I played Vice City with my friends a little bit, and just go around, just have them roam around the city, and, shooting people and all that stuff. And I did play San Andreas maybe like once or twice, but Vice City is the one that I'm more familiar with. But today's stuff, I haven't really played it at all. My Beard Will End the World wants to know, if you were a wrestler, what would be your entrance theme? I'd have to say Shawn Michaels' Sexy Boy theme. It's kind of a story behind it, because back in May of 2009, I weighed 240 pounds, and right now I weigh about 180, 185. But I lost a lot of weight over that summer of 2009, and then 15 pounds that next school year, which would have been my junior year in college. And I connect Sexy Boy with it because I think about making a return, and I look good, I feel confident, and Sexy Boy comes to mind, and that's the one I would come out to, doing the whole pose thing, and it's awesome. So that's the one that I would choose to go out to. It's upbeat, and I love it. The Boone 24 wants to know, how are you making a living? Well, I basically said that right now. I said that before. Working at a packaging factory right now, looking for houses to move to so I can work over there. Of course, looking to get my piano tuning certification. I'm already DJing on the side, so I have other side jobs that I do. But I also give guitar lessons to some kids too, so I kind of do that on the side. So I do a lot of side jobs, but yeah, I'm making a living doing that. And Sheriff's Letter wants to know, how do you match up notes so well? How long have you been involved in music? Did it all begin with pianos? And at what point did you learn a song structure? Well, how do I match up notes so well? I just have a good ear. I've been around it long enough all my life, and after hearing songs so many times on the radio And of course, when I was 5, I started playing the piano, just kind of plunking notes, just kind of finding out where they are on the piano and finding out how my fingers go, and trying to figure out what notes match which. If it weren't for The Sound of Music, which is a musical, if those of you don't know what it is, there's a song called Do Re Mi. It's a very common song, and if it weren't for that song, I wouldn't know where middle C is on the piano. And that all started about what note I can hear easily, and I can just tell you if there's a note that someone plays on the piano, tell me what note is that, and then I just tell them what it is. And I just know those things, and that's how I kind of match them up, and I can just hear so well, and that's how I just kind of hear beats and melodies and harmonies so well. That's how I match them up. How long have you been involved in music? All my life. My mom was actually my K-12 music teacher all throughout school. It's kind of funny. And of course my dad was the football coach, so you kind of see how that connects with it. But my mom was my music teacher, and I've learned it in the classroom, and I've been around it so long, it just kind of grows on me. Did it all begin with the pianos? Like I said, yeah, the piano was the first thing I started playing around with when I was 5, and to kind of find out where the notes are. Then at what point did you learn a song structure? Just by listening. Obviously in the classroom you learn music theory, and you learn about staff and the notes, note names, and signs and symbols and stuff like that. But also just by listening to songs on the radio. I mean, a lot of pop songs on the radio, I just hear the structure, and I just kind of hear it on my own. Be verse, refrain, bridge, refrain. I just know. I just kind of listen to it. And when it comes to playing songs and playing the piano, I'm better at composing for the piano than I am playing. I'm better at composing than I am performing. If you notice that in my sheet music videos, they are more accurate to the song than I am when I play it, because I'm better at composing it than I am performing it. So, but I try to do the best that I can. But anyways, that's a little bit about me. I'm glad that you guys sent in your questions, and if I do another Q&A video, you can ask me more. And it's just glad that you guys get to know me as a person rather than what you see on YouTube. So anyways, I'm going to go back to making some more videos for you guys, and we'll be good to go. So thanks.